Hi out there. This is John Giffin with State Roofing Company out of Houston, Texas. And I have an additional office in the Bryan College Station area. I'm here today to talk about homeowners insurance policies and the coverage that you may have or may not have. Years ago, it was very simple. Most insurance companies sold all residential homeowners a HOB policy, which was the broad form policy. That policy would cover you for everything: fire, water losses, hail, wind, tornadoes, hurricanes, vandalism, and some other items that are listed down in their policies. You need to understand that these policies that you purchase from the insurance company are policies that they have written, policies that they have had approved by the insurance commissioner of that state and approved by the legislature of that state. In the state of Texas, our policies have changed over the years. Right now, there is one insurance carrier out there that is customizing policies for homeowners. And by what I heard last time I talked to one of their agents was that they had up to 28 different policies for a homeowner to purchase. In these 28 policies, and I'm not going to pick on this one insurance company, is that you need to understand the different coverages that you have on your home. The broad policy was the best policy to have. However, now they are selling that broad policy, but they are also selling it with some exclusions. And if you look at your declaration page, usually down at the bottom of your declaration page, it'll tell you what exclusions you have or do not have. Most of the time when you get that declaration page, sometimes you will get copies of those exclusions, and the majority of the time you won't. And if you did get them, most of the time you don't read them to see what there was. You need to take action into looking at what your policy covers you for. Do you have a replacement cost value policy? Do you have an actual cash value policy? Do you have an add-on such as a actual roof schedule attached to your policy? All of these things will affect your outcome when it comes time to filing a claim. I know insurance is expensive, and I know a lot of people are shopping insurance. I recommend that when you get with an insurance carrier, that you look at trying to stay with that carrier and build a relationship with that insurance company. Relationships work in this industry. I've had relationships with insurance adjusters for 30 years. I just met one out in the field the other day that I hadn't seen in 3 years. He now works for a different company, but he's a great guy. And there's a lot of great adjusters out there. But a lot of insurance companies now are using these ladder assist companies. I have no idea what type of requirements they must meet, but they're not licensed property adjusters. It is very disturbing to me that this industry has changed to this, but that's what the insurance carriers are doing. But let's go back to looking at a HOB policy. You want to make sure you have a HOB policy in the full coverage. Then you need to look at what your deductible is. Deductibles now are either 1% or 2%, or some people are even going to even a 5% deductible. That's because they're trying to lower their cost and their premium expense every year. And lowering your premium cost by cutting corners in your policy will bite you later down the road. I'll give you an example of a customer that we had in College Station. He had changed his policy the year before, had a large hailstorm hit his area, had 2¼ inch hail. It damaged his roof. One of my representatives went out to go look at his property, definitely said that his roof needed to be replaced. The policyholder provided my representative his declaration page, and he had a HOB policy. However, he had an exclusion at the bottom of it that said that his roof coverage was only for actual cash value. And the understanding of that is that you have to see that when they come out and they total your roof, that the depreciation that they hold back under this scenario is non-recoverable. In other words, he lost approximately $8,000 in an insurance claim, and he had an $8,000 deductible. He had a $25,000 roof. So he was going to lose automatically $16,000 in his claim because of his deductible and his and his actual cash value coverage he had on his roof. At that time, the homeowner was going to be out of pocket approximately $16,000 and just said he was going to wait till the next storm, which I can understand that. But we need to take in consideration that insurance companies are furnishing you with policies. Here's two examples. Both of them are Texas homeowners policies, and they're the broad form. They consist of about 18 pages or so of fine print. Very confusing print, but you have to understand this is your insurance carrier that has written this policy and has sold it to you. You need to speak with your agent, or you need to speak with the underwriter. A lot of insurance companies now do not have agents. You purchase the insurance online, you never really speak to anybody except for a sales rep that's telling you this, that, or whatever, and you don't know if you're getting the correct coverage or not. As now there is even a policy out there with an exclusion that has a actual roof schedule to it. That actual roof schedule is worse than the ACV roof coverage. The actual roof schedule starts from day one of depreciating your roof. Not only is it depreciating the material, it's depreciating the labor. So an actual roof schedule, you need to do everything you can to stay away from it. You're better off with an ACV policy, because on an ACV policy, all they can do is depreciate the material. They cannot depreciate the labor. So times have changed, and you need to be researching your policy. You need to be researching your coverage. You need to be protecting your asset. You need to be protecting your wallet, because insurance companies are big bears. And they take a lot of losses some years, and some years they make a lot of money. But right now, you need to protect yourself. Now's the time to pull your policy out. Make sure you have the coverage you need. You may need to even look at adding an additional policy from the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, because your regular homeowner's policy does not cover you for rising water. You need to understand, to purchase a flood policy from NFIP, there must not be a named storm in the Gulf for you to purchase that. There is a 30-day cooling period there of making sure that they're not going to take the risk that if a hurricane comes in and floods your property or something else happens, that you have coverage or you do not have coverage. So I would immediately look into the flood insurance program and purchasing it, even if you're not in the floodplain. Things are changing. Keep this in mind, and I am open to any questions that anybody may have. This is my first video that I will be posting, and I will start talking about other topics throughout the next month. The number to reach me at is 877-293-5600. Again, this is John Giffin with State Roofing Company. I've been in business for over 30 years, and I've held my adjuster's license for over 26 years or so now. The only reason I carry my adjuster's license is so I know the ins and outs of the policy. I am not performing a conflict by being a roofing contractor and holding an adjuster's license. I want everybody to understand that. Mine is only to know the ins and outs of the policies so that I can sit there and have a conversation with a policyholder. Again, thank you for listening. John Giffin out.